President Muhammadu Buhari says he has no third-term agenda and that members of the party must ensure that the All Progressive Congress outlives the present administration. The president was speaking at the All Progressives Congress National Executive Council meeting at the party secretariat in Abuja. At the event, the APC National Chairman Adams Oshomole, who outlined the successes of the party, says the 16 senators who defected to the PDP before the 2019 general elections have been punished by Nigerians who denied them re-election. Our correspondent Kayla Megwa reports.
Just before the All Progressives Congress National Executive Council meeting, protesters from the party took to the streets, some calling for the sack of the party's national chairman, while others demand that he remains in office. Despite the drama, the meeting held as scheduled, bringing together party faithful from across the country and chaired by President Muhammadu Buhari.
I said you should read the Constitution because I'm not going to make a mistake of attempting to have a third term or whatever term. Besides the age, I swore by the holy book I believe in that I will go by the Constitution, and the Constitution said 2 terms. I know I'm the last term, and I can afford to be reckless because I'm not going to ask for anybody's vote. For that reason, I want you to read the Constitution. Your Excellency, Deputy Governor.
The party chairman states the achievements of the party so far and takes time to taunt some senators who defected to the People's Democratic Party before the 2019 general elections.
Those who rebel against this party, who sought to bring us down, who decamp at a critical moment, believing that their decamping will destabilize us and will have no enough time to make up, as led by Senator Bukola Saraki, he and 15 others, all 16 of them, by the special grace of God, the Nigerian electorate has chosen to punish them with their PVCs and their ballot papers. And they were all voted out. And APC senators were voted in to replace them.
The meeting then goes into a closed-door session for 2 hours, after which the governor of Kaduna State speaks on the deliberations.
There is nothing that was discussed in the meeting about pro and anti-Oshomole. You have to understand that leading a national party is a risky exercise. You will have your supporters, you will have your adversaries, and this is normal.
Internal squabbles within the All Progressives Congress in recent times have called to question the unity of the party and its future after the Buhari administration comes to an end in 2023. But the party says it is on the road to reconciliation to position itself for the next administration. Kayla Megwa, Channels Television News.
We move to the judiciary, and the Court of Appeal sitting in Kaduna has upheld the election of Governor Abdullahi Ganduje of Kano State. The PDP and its candidate had on October the 11th filed the petition at the appeal court against the October the 2nd judgment of the Election Petitions Tribunal that affirmed the victory of Governor Ganduje of the APC. In a unanimous judgment, the 5-man panel of the court, led by Justice Tijani Abubakar, dismissed the appeal by the People's Democratic Party and its candidate Abba Yusuf. The court affirmed the decision of the Kano State Governorship Elections Tribunal, which had dismissed the petition of the PDP and its candidate challenging Governor Ganduje's victory in the supplementary election. The tribunal also held that INEC was right in declaring the March the 9th election in Kano State inconclusive and in declaring Governor Ganduje the winner of the supplementary poll held on March the 23rd. Meanwhile, the Sokoto division of the Court of Appeal has affirmed Mr. Aminu Tambawal as the duly elected governor of the state. Delivering the lead judgment, Justice Hussaini Mukhtar said the court upheld the victory of the tribunal, which had earlier dismissed the petition filed by the All Progressives Congress and its governorship candidate Ahmed Aliyu Sokoto. The appellate court, in a unanimous verdict, noted that both the appeal and the cross-appeal are lacking in merit and therefore dismissed them at no cost. The court also dismissed the cross-appeal filed by the APC and its candidates pertaining to the judgment of the tribunal. Mr. Ahmed Sokoto and the APC had on October the 16th, 2019, filed the appeal before the court, challenging the October the 2nd judgment of the tribunal that dismissed Aliyu's petition. And also heading to court is the convener of the Revolution Now movement, Mr. Omoyele Sowore, who has filed a suit against the Department of State Services, challenging his continued detention. Mr. Sowore is asking the Federal High Court to award 500 million naira in his favor as costs against the DSS for the violation of his rights. Some of the relief sought by the applicant, including a declaration that his detention to date in violation of the order for his release made on November the 6th, 2019 is illegal. He is also asking for an order of perpetual injunction restraining the service from further violating his rights in any manner whatsoever. Joining the suit is the Minister of Justice, Mr. Abubakar Malami. Mr. Sowore has been in detention since August when he was arrested and charged for treasonable felony. And still in the quest for justice, the police command in Ekiti State said it has evidence of connivance of 2 bank officials in the robbery attack at a bank in Oyo Ekiti, which claimed the lives of a police officer and a 10-year-old girl. During a visit to the scene of Thursday's bank robbery, the Commissioner of Police in Ekiti State, Mr. Sukwo, vowed to carry out a results-driven investigation into the incident.
This is Oyo Ekiti in Oyo local government area of Ekiti State. All had been well from daybreak on Thursday until late afternoon when armed men invaded this bank, shooting sporadically around the closest police station to scare away opposition from their operation. This police van is also set on fire by gang members who escaped by scaling the fence of the building. The operation leaves a police officer and a 10-year-old girl dead. The Commissioner of Police visits the scene where he reveals evidence of connivance with 2 officials of the bank.
There is no doubt that there is very close similarity in their level of operation because the dynamite used was the same dynamite we recovered from this bank robbery. But what baffles me is that there is a nexus between the robbers and insiders within the banking premises. There was enough alert from the attack at the police station. So that alert was enough for any reasonable person either to escape or to make way out of the banking area. More so, they had an exit door in a place which the robbers had not even had access. But all the preparation they had to do was concentrating on the vault. Them, the bankers, opening the vault, going into the vault and coming out of the vault simultaneously, which we have captured in the camera. So those are issues we need to address.
The police commissioner also gave clarifications on recoveries made from the scene of the crime.
They were invited to come along with us because after the incident, when we observed that there was consistent entry into the strong room and coming out, when we conducted search inside the banking, we saw a hidden 2-point-something million that was hidden somewhere, and we recovered it. So that gave us suspicion that they needed to give us further explanation on that.
The monarch of the town is worried about the fatal robbery operation, hoping the police will unmask more of the perpetrators. The last bank robbery in Ekiti State took place in September, and for this latest one, the police say they intend to prosecute all those involved in the crime.
Development Commission says it needs the strong cooperation of lawmakers from the northeastern part of the country to effectively deliver on its mandates. This appeal comes from the chairman of the commission, Major General Paul Tarfa, who was at the conference of the Northeast speakers in Abuja. He insists that the task of building the Northeast region will be very difficult without the full support of the state actors in the region.
6 months ago, President Muhammadu Buhari inaugurated the Northeast Development Commission with the sole mandate of rebuilding the Northeast. The Northeast region is one area in the country that has suffered wanton destruction of lives and property. According to reports, over 14 million people are affected by insurgency in the Northeast. Over 900 schools are either completely or partially destroyed. 45% of healthcare facilities also need urgent attention. At this meeting with a conference of speakers from the region, the leadership of the Northeast Development Commission says it will be difficult to fix the already devastated region without the full cooperation of lawmakers and other state actors from the region.
This commission is only 4 months old. It's a baby, and we need a lot of political and legislative protection. As we start our work fully, I'm sure you are going to give us the necessary protection and cover to help us do our work.
Please keep us in check as much as possible. We need your help as you need ours. And by the grace of God, all things will go well.
The Conference of Northeast Speakers is a composition of speakers of Houses of Assembly from Bauchi, Gombe, Adamawa, Borno, Yobe, and Taraba states. These lawmakers want the Northeast Development Commission to take into cognizance the peculiarities in these states as it sets out to implement its developmental agenda.
As you know, Borno state is the most heated, state, followed by Yobe and Adamawa and others. Their own is different from like we in Bauchi, Gombe and others. Our own is usually the influx of these the IDPs from that place, the IDPs, and then they have a lot of destruction which we like in Bauchi we don't have. So the activities will differ.
Perhaps to say that it will require more than just a commission to rebuild the Northeast is to say the least. The commission believes that a strong collaboration with the states in the region is needed, especially the support of these lawmakers.